Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. For those of y'all that are new, my name is Jacob. I'm a day trader and beginning to be, or I guess, amateur, an amateur YouTuber. So this is what I'm doing. I haven't done YouTube before, but I'm doing it now. So we were in a Telegram before and just decided to start going out. So started a page. Never really did anything with it until recently. So again, there, and then on, y'all know the YouTube obviously, but for the majority of the past 5.5 years have been staring at this whole thing, trying to figure this out. And so we haven't figured out enough to be consistently profitable. And so this is what we are here for, because one of the main reasons, because it took us so long, didn't actually find out this information until some of this information, we haven't gone over it yet, but some of this information until I was 3.5 years in, 4 years in. So still haven't had a whole lot of experience with it, but have had enough experience to see working what we've been talking about with the fixed variables and stuff. If you're in the group, and obviously YouTube, then this stuff does play out. I was honestly at a point to where I was nearly at one point where I was considering, like, hey, maybe this stuff isn't legit, you know, maybe this is just a scam, like everyone says, or I have to be some New York on Wall Street, you know what I'm saying, something like that. But found out that that wasn't the truth. So we tested on demo for about we tested on demo for about 6 months and continued to test. But so we tested on demo for about 6 months using these principles, and we came out consistently profitable every time. So it was about, I think, 10 sample sizes. It was around 10 sample sizes, and now we have three more. We just passed the last one on the FTMO demo, but still, the more that we do this, the more that we learn. So the more to document, the more that you learn. And so this is what we're doing here, is documenting also. So we're doing the YouTube stuff and still at a point in our trading where we are working out the kinks. We want smoother equity curve. We need more information on cryptocurrencies in order to get that. So one of the reasons why I bring that up is because people underscore using a demo account, but if you're at a place, and I would suggest using a demo account right away, because if you don't get a chance to work this stuff without your emotions involved, to see how it works out without those emotions, then you're probably never going to see it. I tell this to people all the time, to everyone in the group, because it took me like 4 years to finally say I'm going to use a demo account. I think I got it, because I was always good at doing technical analysis and doing signals and stuff. I knew simple risk management, like you want to have less to risk than more reward, right? Like that's the extent that I had it, but I would guess on my leverage and stuff. And so that is, say, like I would, or I would use whatever lot size across the instruments, and well, that could be really devastating to your account. So obviously, number one, and on other setups, your stop loss isn't going to be the same unless you set it to be. That's one thing, But chances are, if you want to trade multiple instruments and time frames, then you're going to go somewhere and you're going to get into something that pulls heavier than XRP. You go on US 30 using the same amount that you use on XRP leverage wise, then you use the same stop loss, then you're in a world of It could either end up really good, but it could really end up bad. Chances are it's going to end up bad eventually. So we found out about having, the fixed variables and all that stuff. And the last one that we went through, and we'll get started here on the charts. The last one that we went through was with just XRP, Bitcoin, and gold. So, and we did it passively. We went through and just let them go. And so I think we did do a video on it. I don't know if you got to see it, but anyways, the importance of doing that, especially if you're at a point to where you've thought about quitting, because you might even be good at doing charts or excellent at doing charts, but then when rubber meets the road, the numbers aren't adding up. You're not getting consistently profitable, or you have no idea, or you start to think that, or I started to think maybe that it was impossible. So practicing on a demo, this stuff not only saves you money to see a strategy work out, or this ideology, if you want to call it, this way of using fixed variables that are attached to a specific setup on a specific instrument, tested hundreds of times, tested in different scenarios to come up with proper risk to reward based on win to loss ratio, and then putting that in a playbook to where you don't just have one anymore. You start stacking them up. That's like your portfolio. So that's like your arsenal of bread and butter that you can go to. So when you're doing this and you go through and you experience what this actually works, just doing this way, if you just leave your stuff alone, stick to the plan, it works out. And we've seen it work out excuse me, in some pretty, what looked to be like it wasn't going to come through, but it always came through so far. But anyways, you guys didn't really plan on going over that, but I didn't want to go anymore without kind of letting you know where we are. So I'm not coming up here like like I said, I'm no guru or anything, but we have reached major milestone, and that is having the ability to be consistently profitable, for a half of a year. At one point when I first started, I'll stop after this. At one point when I first started, I got into trading. I just hammered at technical analysis, and I hammered at it. By hammered, I mean like 12 to 14, 16 hours a day, trying to figure out which way the market was going to move. And so it wasn't long before I picked it up and I got it, and I could figure out, even sometimes, one time we had 27 positions hit in 24 hours with 0 losses. But at the end of the day, I ended in negative. And just being honest right now, on Bitcoin, I'll show Bitcoin real quick. Called the top of the NASDAQ this last time, and negative. Bitcoin all the way from 65k, it goes 65k down to 30k. I blew 2 accounts on that. So it was on a pullback. Took profits, and then got in heavy on the pullback from, I was high on like euphoria, can't stop me. Like, just did that, then wham, got whacked. And so having this stuff in place and having the experiences that doing this moderately in sequence and in order responsibly is a delayed satisfaction compared to coming in here and not knowing like what you have to risk before you risk it. where are your points that you're allowed to move a stop loss? You know, are there any conditions at all for you replacing a trade after it's set? You know, all these things. That's what allows the numbers to go in. So it's not necessarily your ability to call the shots. And this is a big shocker to me. I remember when I first hit my first five in a row. I hit five trades in a row, and this was like near the beginning of me getting into this, and I thought that was it. And this was about 4 years ago. I got excited, and then I would get sad when I lost, and then excited when I won, excited when I lost, excited when I won. You get it? Like, that's the kind of stuff that you want to avoid. Just look at Bitcoin right here. We'll check this out earlier. They really want to go off on a rant, but having the experience of going through that, even 20 to 30 trades on a single instrument time frame with the same time frame, same setup, seeing yourself get into the negative, having thoughts of, I'm afraid to put on this one, or maybe I shouldn't do this one because of that, but having clear, defined entries and exits to where there's no doubt, and you pull the trigger when you're supposed to pull the trigger, not prematurely, all that stuff. You can do that stuff on a demo account. You might not be able to do it on a live account, but you can do it on a demo account. And so when you do it on a demo account, your confidence goes up. And the more information that you get about yourself, what you're feeling as you're journaling, all this stuff, what are your triggers, when do you perform the worst, all of your statistics are in there. And so are all the blueprints of these charts and all the information that we get. It sticks in your head, and you begin to see in a totally different mindset. But it's a progressive thing. So it's not something that just overnight, but with practice. So we did that for about 6 months. Just gonna do some marking up real quick. We did the samples for about 6 months. This looks like this could go up. We're on the 50 MA also. This little bit of resistance right here. But seeing that stuff happen is where, for me, the magic happens. Now, I didn't run into the information, like I said, until I was well into. I had already been in for like 4 years, So, but it was really, really painful getting to that place. It was really painful, and so again, it's another one of the reasons why we get on here. There's, I don't know what's out there nowadays, but I look on YouTube, and I look on Facebook, and it's like that. I haven't seen anybody mention this information. This, I mean, the way that Mark Douglas talks about it, and that's our inspiration. That's where we got it from, and so we were given, the ability to translate it at just the right time with just the right instruments and tools and everything. So, hopefully it will get to you a lot sooner than it gets to me. If you're in a place like that and you're wanting to figure it out and get some answers, then looks like we could pop out here, be watching this resistance trend at around 38. So we go into past 39K on Bitcoin, then that would break this structure right here. Then just reach out and holler, I don't know what to say, but anyways, really didn't plan on talking about that, but I kind of did, because what we're going to be covering in the next, several, you'll see them, these videos periodically, where we're going over, our basically a docu-series. So make sure and stay tuned for that. Might even have a name or something like that. So, if that's something that interests you, going to be giving away key things that led us to, you know, being able to do that. It's a huge milestone. You know, I know a lot of people, I'm not the only one that will want to quit. You know, I know a lot of people want to quit but don't quit. You know, if you're in that place, just reach out, and, you know, we'll be glad to help you best we can. But we're going to be showing a lot of it here on these, along with also our signals. We're doing signals in our group, so not on our page, but in our group. We just started a crypto group, and there's more stuff coming on the way, so we will keep y'all posted whenever we are ready for that. But the main goal is, again, to teach what we're doing, not just to come in and give you a bias on a chart. You know, like, I think this is going up, like, duh, obviously got targets up here. You know, not just here to say that, but to give, or just to mention this particular strategy, you know, but the underlying, what are the drivers of, you know, what actually makes a consistently profitable trader, and what makes, you know, having the ability, which it's a good ability to be able to have good eyes and understanding of fundamentals, and to find, you know, do good market analysis, and, you know, come out with high probabilities. If you're a signal provider like I was, just a signal provider, you know, took pride in that, and that's okay, I think, because that's your job. But there's a big difference in between a technical analysis and a trader. I mean, what it takes to be. But anyways, you guys, right here we were at our trend. We'll get on with the video. That stuff is just really, we spent so much time, so much money, so many nights wondering what the, you know, because, and it was really frustrating, especially if you're pretty decent at doing technical analysis or doing market analysis, and you know, for me, I was providing signals and to a team, and they were on fire, I'm not gonna lie, but I was not at all. But it was a thrill giving people, like, good, like, being able to give people good signals. Anyways, we're here near our trend, back at the order block. This is where we first posted, right here. We had a retracement. This was starting to look like a kind of like an Adam and Eve right here, but saw this descending wedge into the order block. So basically, like this, one rounded out. Actually, just like to touch on that again, like when we first did our first sample, so you do 20, you know, 20 to 25. So I was looking at it like this too. You do a 20 to 25, 30 trade sample size when the variables are fixed. As long as you have an edge at all, and you're using the right risk management, and your calculations and everything are correct, then the first one that we got like 5% in. It was like 20 trades. But you do that with the mindset of, so let's see, impossible Adam and Eve right here. Okay, it did clear, but I knew this was right here too, so started looking right here, posted, and this was near tweezer bottoms. We got engulfing right here, slight breach of the deal right here. So as long as all these numbers are right and stuff, and you're not getting any abnormally big losses, and your wins are relatively the same, we have in the protocol to have, and I think a lot of people do this, we're not the only ones, is, so if your risk is fixed, how do you still maximize on further, you know, potential of a trade? if your take profits fixed, because this is something that we ran into right away. All right, pretty close at the beginning. So if this is fixed, then this is fixed too. So one thing is multiple positions. So having multiple positions, or using a platform where you can slowly get out of a position. But without, however you're doing it, it needs to be consistent relative to your account size. We use a trade assistant. The thing was messing up today, so was going to share some of that. But anyways, so not really anything big happening in. I mean, just the regular amazing XRP news and basically nothing on the charts. So XRP braced for a huge multi-trillion-dollar Wall Street earthquake. So yeah, so they throw Forbes in there. All this they talk about, they're comparing Bitcoin to XRP. And let's take a look at XRP. So anyways, in addition to all that, so coming in with the mindset, and I'm just now begin to get into this to where I'm in this state where I get in and I don't have an assumption that because I drew lines and stuff on the chart and used the indicator and got an entry right here and that this is going to go up, because we've seen it enough times where it's not about this. And this is what the difference between a professional trader and a non-professional trader is a probability mindset. We don't think that way naturally, and so this is also ties in with what I was talking about earlier. Trading on a demo account, or at least with a amount of money to where you can say, okay, I can lose this amount of money and not stress, or rather, even better, probably, that I can trade with this amount of money and it not put me in an emotional state if I win or if I lose, because you need to be able to follow this stuff through to the end. And then if in your journaling, so at the end, if it doesn't line up, then you have a lot of your answers right there. So when you go back next time, you can see where you're screwing up, because most likely you're screwing up. Your strategy's set in stone. So most of the error is, I mean, it's all on us. We're the ones that manage the position, obviously. So a lot of people I think will give up too before, if because they'll blame it on a strategy, right, or a person or something like that. But the more that you write this stuff down and go through this, the more that you'll start to realize that all of this is just a head game. And so keeping a probability mindset and coming in, measuring the risk, accepting it's there, and accepting the fact, and just coming in with the mindset of, okay, this is just another number. I'm not emotionally tied to the good or bad outcome of either possible scenario of this position. This is just another number. The next one's going to be the same thing if you're trading the same setup, same scenario. Okay, let's just get on to the next one. Check, what did I do? Was everything good? Go on to the next one. It's another number. After you see it happen enough times, the more and more you're like, you realize that it doesn't matter. And this is a huge hang up. I'm not saying I'm completely over that yet either, but seeing major improvements the more that we see this play out. So with that being said, we don't have a clue what's going to happen here. This could smash through, come through to the 1100 down here, down to the top of the 60-cent support. Pretty much nearly like Bitcoin, except Bitcoin was preceding an uptrend. So just look one more time without looking at the 1100. If we break this really on the 4-hour, 57 cents and 57.5 cents, 63 cents, or a close above 63 cents. The sentiment again on the daily, if you ask me, I mean, we're still looking up. The more that we go this way, it's kind of like, yeah, I don't know. But, because this is getting to be pretty long. If we get a break above this point right here at 63, basically, if we break into 60, where was it at? Right here. Move that out of the way. So right here, if we break this point, 62, break into 63. So if we clear this right here, so let's say we close into 63, that would be really, really bullish to me. Not saying buy up there or anything, just saying that'd be bullish. So, you know, there's a better chance that it will. It's just like, yeah. Anyways, if you hadn't seen Mark Douglas, check it out. If you got any questions, holler. You know, that's what we're doing in the group, is we're going over all this stuff in detail. But anyways, you guys, you know, hope that y'all are having a good week so far, and we'll keep you posted on the updates. You know, we got a lot going on too, so, you know, we'll be sure and let you know when we are finished, and we will see you on the next one. See ya.